I get asked all the time, what watches can I buy for under $100? I get asked this so much that I thought I would just make a video on it, and I get it. Spending over $100 for a watch is a lot of money. Often, $100 for a watch would be the most expensive thing you have on. If you break down just big brands like Casio, Timex, let's just say Casio and Timex, you can go on their website, filter watches from low to high or watches under $100, and it gives you a slew of options. But I'm starting to get the sense that people are kind of just lazy and want me to recommend a watch to them. So these are my top watches under $100. And right off the bat, let's go to an instant classic. This is the Casio F91W. This watch is $30. It is small. I threw mine on a NATO strap. The rubber strap is plenty comfortable. I just like it on a NATO. I think it looks cool, and customize it just a little bit. But for $30, this iconic watch will do you justice. But if that watch is too small for you, I get it. I would check out then the Casio World Timer. This watch I actually just ordered today. For $40, you get basically a GMT. This watch tracks many different time zones. It's a little bit busier of a dial. It's the bigger brother to the Casio F91W. I just showed you two digital watches. And it's hard to gauge what you might be looking for because this isn't a conversation, it's just a video. But after I suggest these two watches, people often go, well, I don't want a digital watch. Can I have one with hands or an analog watch? I would recommend the Timex Expedition. This is a 40mm watch. It can do everything. It's got a pop of color on the seconds hand. I don't own this watch, but I would buy this watch. And they have plenty of different colorways and options to choose from on their website. So for under $100, I think the Timex Expedition line is pretty iconic. All the watches I've shown you now were on either a rubber band or a nylon strap, and another common theme I get is, hey, I want the watch on a bracelet or a metal band. So I would push you and urge you to check out this iconic watch from Casio. It's the A168W. So under $100, it's hard to find a metal band or bracelet that's comfortable. Bracelets at this price point can tend to pinch your hairs and pull your hairs. And I've had friends tell me, like, hey, I've had this metal band. I like the way it looks, but it's super uncomfortable and it pinches my wrist. I get it. It's common, which is why I would urge you to maybe up your price point a little bit. But these are starter watches. Let's get you into a watch and then we'll go from there. But this watch is iconic. And at this price point, Casio does an excellent job with their band being super comfortable. But again, if you're not into analog, but want a metal band, this Casio, I'm not gonna say the name because it's ridiculous, but it's right here. For $60, you can get this. It's both analog and digital. Super clean watch. I also own this watch, but in gold, fake gold, obviously, at this price point. This watch is clean, simple, sleek. It's a good looking watch. I saw this watch on wrist out in public and walked up to the guy and asked him the model number, and then purchased the watch. So if you're liking the tool watch vibe, but don't want something like Timex or Casio, there's an Italian brand called Bertucci. Bertucci. They actually issued watches to the Italian military. I don't know if they still do, but they have some pretty cool options for under $100. Like this A3P optic white, insane dial, black, white, It looks like an aviation window. This watch is sick, from a brand called Bertucci. It's got a 100 meters of water resistance, so it's super durable, rugged. You don't have to worry about it when you go swimming. But if you're not liking the black and white contrast, they have, you know, a more normal, muted one here with just a white dial, clean, simple white dial. The theme at this price point is tool watches, field watches, watches you can beat up. At this price point, watches under $100. For me personally, I don't like a more dressy watch because it just looks cheap. But if you go with the tool watch category, it can hide the cheapness. I just think tool watches at this category look better. But let's move on. So there's a brand that has a cult following. It's a Russian brand, and they issued these watches to the Russian military. The brand's called Vostok. Now, the build quality, well, at this price point is fine. They've been known to be a little janky, but this is a dive watch that can give you 200 meters of water resistance. Just another option for 75 bucks. So now there's brands out there like Vaer, which is an American company. If you go on their website, they have a used section. So if you could buy a used watch or used Vaer from the company's website, and this is the S5 Field Black. Now, the quality on this one is poor to fair, but if you push your budget just a little bit, for $120, you get a field watch, a tool watch that has a metal case, which, you know, you might like over the plastic cases I've been showing you. But Vaer makes a good field watch, and they have a used category. I don't want to get into eBay because typically someone buying their first watch isn't going to do a ton of research. They just want, what watch can I buy? Check out this one, and then they buy it. So, and then just an iconic watch is just a standard G-Shock, the DW 5600 series. For $100, you can get this model, which is insane. But I do own a G-Shock and love it. Again, the common theme is tool watches. And now we land on two watches. These are my top picks for watches under $100. One's from Timex, one's from Casio. I actually own this watch. This is the Timex Weekender, but this Weekender is a simple, beautiful watch. And at $43, it's a steal. It comes on an extremely comfortable nylon strap. I like the black option. I actually threw mine on a leather option. And that's something I'm reluctant to bring up, is you can change out all the straps on all your watches. So keep that in mind. If you like a watch but don't like the strap, you can easily and cheaply change that out. But I think the Timex Weekender is just an iconic watch, and they have a really cool lighting system. If you push in the crown, the watch lights up, which is super useful at night. I own this watch. I used it when I was an EMT. I think it's a sick watch. And then the last watch we have is right at $100. This is the Casio Marlin. This watch is sick. It's a dive watch that has 200 meters of water resistance. So you get the metal band, you get a dive watch that can go down 200 meters. You can use this watch as a daily driver. If you don't like the Pepsi, it's called a bezel, the Pepsi bezel, the blue and the red, they have a plain, simple black one. Or if you want a little bit of pop of color, but not the blue and the red, they have a green bezel. I can't speak to how comfortable the bracelet is, but again, you can change out the bracelet at a later date. It's a bit on the bigger side. All the watches I've shown you were under 40 millimeters. This watch is a bit bigger, but I think you can get away with it knowing it's a tool watch and it's meant and built for a purpose. These are my picks for watches under $100. If you have experience with watches under $100, leave it in the comments on what I missed, what I left out, or good suggestions. That way the newer people coming into the hobby or that just want to watch a cheap watch, they could read the comments and we can have more suggestions for them to kind of check out. And in the next video, we're going to do watches under $500, which is a really great sweet spot. It opens up a lot more sizes, opens up a lot more brands. You just have more of a selection to choose from under $500. But if you liked this video, leave a like and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.